Every determined and ready to leave their mark on the racetrack. It's the season opener for the 2020 NASCAR Motormaster Series season presented by Brough Motorsports. It is the Daytona 300. There's only one event like it. This is the third annual NASCAR Daytona 300, and this one is the very first presented by Brough Motorsports. We've been from Heat 2 to Heat 3, and now we have made our way onto NASCAR Heat 4. Joining me in the commentary booth, NASCAR Motormaster Series part-timer Nathaniel Schultz. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely, and I would just want to get your perspective on this. NASCAR Heat 4 is its own animal. It's its own enigma in itself. What can we expect in tonight's Daytona 300? Oh, we can't hear you on the broadcast. Should just be in the party settings. It was Jade letting us know through the broadcast, so we'll get a 10-4 or a yay or a nay here shortly. But assuming we can hear you now, just maybe answer the question once more so the viewers can hear you. What can we expect in tonight's Daytona 300? Definitely, and so describe the... Oh, they still can't hear you during the broadcast.
Allowed.
It's allowed now?
Yep.
So you're saying that we can expect a lot of 2 and 3 wide action. How exactly are the physics and the graphics different from Heat 3 to Heat 4?
The graphics are quite a bit smoother, because in Heat 3, you'd sometimes experience points where you'd hit a so-called track spike, which would be a glitch in the graphics effect of the game, whereas Heat 4 you don't really have that issue, and the physics are so much better. Heat 3, if you touch someone in their left rear quarter panel, you'd go shooting off to the left. In this game, it not only doesn't do that, you push them hard enough, you're gonna spin their rear end around.
Who do you have your eye on for tonight's Daytona 300?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. He's won the last 2 in a row. I think Jade Burr's going to be able to pull it out.
Sorry, just inviting him into the lobby right now. It's funny you should mention the defending NASCAR Truck Series champion, actually, because you're right. 2-time winner of the Daytona 300 here in the NASCAR Motormaster Series, and he's looking to make it 3 in a row. Going to get a quick word with the driver of the number 98 Ford, and there he is, looking spiffy. It's a nice sunny day here in Daytona. You ready to go racing?
Oh, I'm always ready to go racing.
Now, a lot of fans and a lot of the drivers in the garage area have been looking at you because it seems like you've got this place figured out. You've got the horseshoe in your car. You're going for 3 in a row here today. Tell us well, you don't have to tell us your whole strategy if you don't mind, but tell us exactly what's going through your head as you head into this race, knowing that you're probably the favorite to win this thing.
Honestly, you just have to trust the people you're around. You have to trust in the people that you talked to, that you worked with in the whole off season for this race. In this race itself, the first race of the season, you want to come out with a bang and you want to win. But today, my ultimate goal is to win, but I want points. I'm already going after the points game. I can finish second and be totally happy, but I'm honestly just gonna stay conservative till the end, and then we'll see what happens at the end.
You got a stacked team this year as well. You got Stephen Corley in the 00. You got Tony Camerata in the 22 backing you up. All on the front lines with you for Fatal Motorsports. Tell us about them and how they're going to do today, do you think?
Well, Tony himself, he's a phenomenal racer within himself. And Tony, he picks up where I lack as a racer, and I pick up where he lacks. And the two of us together, we complement each other. Then you bring in Stephen Corley, a guy who didn't really have a name last year. And a lot of people were skeptical of me bringing him in and letting him have his own car and just giving it to him. I have faith in Stephen a lot more than anybody else. And the fact that I also gave him a cup ride for the 2020 Platinum Cup Series as well. Together, the three of us are a very dominant duo, I feel, or trio, I mean. And we are going to be fast, no matter what. So...
The countdown to green is coming to a close. We're getting closer and closer. We have a couple more interviews to do. Do you have any final words before you get strapped into your race car?
There's a few guys that I'm watching tonight that I'm glad they came back. Anthony Trippi, Bryce Thomas, Keith Ayers. You know, they're all going to be fast. Dakota Brough, Joshua Combe Diaz. He's definitely a wild card, but tonight, NASCAR fans, it's great to be back and live streaming again, and so you guys can all see us race put it out there for you. So thanks for having me in here. Appreciate it, Ty.
Always a pleasure having you on the racetrack here in the world of NASCAR. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
That was Jade
Good luck
Bird,
out there, Jade.
2019 NASCAR Truck Series champion. He knows how to get it done here in the NASCAR Motormaster Series as well. As you said,
He's just got to keep it clean.
That's right. He's got 2 Daytona 300s already. He knows what he's got to do. He's just got to put himself in that same position, and he can probably get it done.
That's gonna be an issue tonight, I think, with a lot of guys, is keeping it clean out there. Because if people start trying to jostle for position when they're 2 and 3 wide and bump people out of the way, that's going to cause some big incidents.
Absolutely. We got to keep the ball rolling here. The green flag is getting closer. Got to get as many interviews in as we can. And if you guys noticed, the NASCAR Motormaster Series is under a bit of a different umbrella. We'll talk about that in a moment with the defending NASCAR Motormaster Series champion, Dakota Brough, driver of the number 1. He's coming into the booth here very shortly. And joining us now in the NASCAR commentary booth for a brief moment here, that is the defending NASCAR Motormaster Series champion, Dakota Brough. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Ty.
This is the first season where we have the NASCAR Motormaster Series presented by Brough Motorsports. You've decided to come on board with the NASCAR Series, and it's one that you're very, very passionate about. Tell us about that and how much that means to you to be involved in something like this.
Oh, God. Racing's just been a big part of my life in general. From every week at the local short tracks, and every night I come home, I sit down and I get on with a group of guys every once in a while, and sitting behind a wheel on a game kind of teaches you different lines with different people, and I guess I can take somewhat of that, even though it ain't as real as the realistic thing, but I can take them actions and move it over to my real life racing and seeing off where that goes, and taking care of my own team and having a little bit of a sorry, I spaced my mind out of nowhere. But getting with these group of guys and having a team, I picked a pretty healthy team coming into this, and to sponsor this, I kind of put more onto the line to get these guys from last season's competitiveness and only winning, you know, by very, very little margins, and the points not being separated very far. Kept everybody close and everybody up on their heels and wanting to battle, and I put a trophy and a little bit of money on the line. We'll see what these guys can do after these next 17 weeks. It's going to be a long season.
And I was telling Nate this, if the intensity level wasn't to the max last season, it certainly is this season, and there's a whole lot more on the line. There's a lot of changes to NASCAR, new official logo for many different leagues, new sponsors coming in, and the NASCAR Motormaster Series presented by Brough Motorsports is one of the sought-out, most popular NASCAR leagues perhaps in history because of it. What's your game plan today? You've got 30 hungry Motormaster Series drivers wanting to win this one.
Oh, man. Been working hard with the team all week. We have been kind of linking up together and trying to learn how to draft, who can pretty much draft with who and get around and where they need to be, and learning who you can help and who you can't help and who you're good with and who you're not good with. 30 people is a lot of people on a track, and bringing my team into this, I'm looking hopefully that Noah and Napa and Piston and all them guys can pretty much just get in line, and hopefully we can make this team go somewhere this season, and I'm hoping to cap off, and hopefully one of these Brough Motorsports Chevrolets come home in Victory Lane at the end of the season.
Nate, he's like the Iceman. He's not nervous at all. Listen to him. Do you have a question for the champ? Go ahead.
I don't have a question, but I do have a piece of advice for you for the race.
Yeah, what's up?
The sucker hole is a real thing here on NASCAR Heat 4. If you get in the middle, as soon as you can, find a way to get to either the outside or the inside line, because it will pull you straight to the back.
Yeah, every time. I've been testing with that one all week as well, learning, you know, before they get too bad, and learning in this kind of a hectic week in between, you know, so many other leagues and this series and everything. We've been trying to cap off and put as much time behind us as we can in these series, and Jade and everybody else has put in hard time this season too, and you got Keith, you got all them guys over there, and them Ford Mustangs are pretty quick, and last season we had a hell of a battle on our hands, and we're just looking yet again to see if we can come out on top. It's going to be a great year, and I'm really excited to see how this Daytona race turns out.
It's the third annual Daytona 300, first one sponsored by Brough Motorsports. Good luck to you and your teammates out there.
Hey, thank you, Ty, and hope to hear from you at the end of this.
Absolutely.
Hope to hear from you in Victory Lane.
Yep, see you guys later. Enjoy the race.
Oh, we certainly will.
That was your 2019 NASCAR Motormaster Series champion, Dakota Brough, looking to successfully defend his title, but he still has 36 races to go. Tonight being the season opener, Daytona 300. Sounds like he's got a bit of a good idea about what the car's doing. You gave him some good advice there.
And Ty, it seems like when we heard from Jade, when we heard from Dakota, looks like we've got a couple of powerhouse teams building there.
Yeah, do we
with all those people that they mentioned? Looks like we've got some drafting alliances coming together.
I think that the Fatal Motorsports drivers are definitely going to work together. They're very close. They're a very close unit. They're good friends.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that the Brough Motorsports drivers, if they get separated, they might go all out, and they might say every man for himself. But if they find each other at the end, there's no doubt they're going with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Next up on the agenda, former NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, the defending, actually, Platinum Cup Series champion, Keith Ayers, strikes a full-time ride and strikes a deal to have his own team in the NASCAR Motormaster Series, fielding 4 full-timers this season. We're going to get a quick interview with him coming up right now. Again, just reminding everybody that the countdown is on, the countdown to green. Under 9 minutes, folks, until we're going green. And joining us in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, that is Keith Ayers, the 2019 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion. Thank you for joining us, first of all. Second of all, you're driving one of the fastest cars on the track. You've got one of the best teams. Everything is looking good lately for Keith Ayers Incorporated. Tell us about your journey, getting to the point where you are right now, and tell us your thoughts about today's race, what you can expect.
Well, I can honestly say that all the super speedway races are is like a great game of crapshoot. You never know what to predict. I just gotta learn to be patient and drive with my teammates the best I can, and just look forward to go from there.
As I mentioned, you got a stacked team to do that. You got a lot of friends out there on the track that are going to help you get the job done today. If they see you alone in the lane there, you would think, anyways. And as you mentioned, it's a bit of an unpredictable race. Is there any sort of strategy that you have in mind? Is there anything you've learned from the transition from Heat 3 to Heat 4 that you think is going to carry you to victory lane today?
Avoid the big one at all costs.
That's always a good one.
Yeah, very good one. But yeah, avoid the big one at all costs and go from there.
Nate, you're up. You got a question for the champ?
I do, actually. So, you're the reigning 2019 NASCAR Cup Series champion.
That still feels good. Oh my god.
What are you doing back down in the Motormaster Series? No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks. Thanks.
Well, I think
Sorry,
I
had
can
to
answer
get a shot
that
in
one.
there.
When Keith heard there was a trophy, a 22-inch tall trophy on the line, I think that's when he was signed up.
Hey, I'm looking forward to winning the championship this year in all 3 series. So.
Ooh.
That's a bold statement.
Now
All right.
Now
I'm
that's some.
I'm looking to go back-to-back platinum champ.
Now that
like it.
that'll be something to watch.
That's
Whoa.
excellent. The confidence
It has
is
been
real.
done before, so.
You're
Nice.
right, it hasn't.
Well, good luck to you
Definitely
out
a
there.
goal to aim for.
Good luck to you on your journey towards winning the Daytona 300 here tonight.
Thanks. Looking
And
forward to
have
it.
a great race.
I will talk to you guys in victory lane too, so looking forward to
Hopefully.
There we go. Perfect.
it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Sounds great.
Bye.
Take care. That was Keith Ayers, 2019 Platinum Cup Series champion. Not lacking any confidence, is he?
That's never something that he has lacked. I've known Keith longer than I've been in NASCAR, and he's never lacked confidence. And the thing is, he's got enough talent that he just might be able to do it.
Joining us next in the commentary booth, driver of the number 7 Chevy Camaro for Timac Motorsports, that is Joshua Diaz, came close to winning the Daytona 500 and ended up picking up a couple of NASCAR Legends Series wins. Before we shut things down on NASCAR Heat 3, he'll be joining us right here in a couple of moments. However, we are only 2 minutes away from green, and this may be the last one that we get in. Ah, touche, touche. We might be able to.
One in between with the pole sitter.
We might be able to get one in with a driver while they're doing their qualifying lap, and that would be completely up to them.
Mm-hmm.
So we could sneak a couple more in, but we got Joshua Diaz on the way. There he is.
We can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us, buddy. You're in the 7 car. You're in a top-notch car. You're in a car that's capable of winning on any given weekend, and now you got a shot to go out there and win the 3rd running of the Daytona 300. How does it feel, and what do you think of your chances today?
I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm very excited to race for Timac Motorsports once again. He picked me up after last year. I had a fun rookie season. It was fun, but second here in the Daytona 500, so I will do whatever it takes to win tonight.
I was mentioning that to Nate just a moment ago, actually. You came so close, within a half a lap of winning the Daytona 500, and you're looking for redemption out there today. You got a good game plan in mind. You've been talking about it all week long with me. What do you think of your chances? You gonna go out there and get it done?
Yes. If not, survive the big one.
I do have one thing to ask you.
Yes.
You said you'll do whatever it takes to win. What if one of your teammates is leading on the last lap?
Checkers or wreckers.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Good luck in qualifying, Josh.
Yep.
I'm aggressive goes around, remember?
I like it. Good luck to you in qualifying, Josh.
Thank
I think
you,
it's
guys.
starting shortly.
Yep. We will talk to you later.
Yeah.
And that was Joshua Diaz, driver of the 7 car. He's always passionate and always pumped up about this. He's really looking forward to this. He's been posting about it on his Facebook page all week long. He's ready to go. What did you think of his enthusiasm?
Oh, he's definitely got a lot of enthusiasm. That's
oh, man. We're going to see if we can bend the rules a little bit. We're going to try to get Kevin Tattersall in here, but we're really not too sure where they're at. We're getting a little close to the green flag. Qualifying might have begun. He might not be able to join us. So oh, speak of the devil, there he is. Perfect.
I guess he's able to join us, isn't he?
I guess he is. Kevin, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I hear you.
Perfect. Is qualifying beginning? If so, we apologize.
No, I haven't gotten the invite for it yet.
Okay, well, we're going to get a quick word with you, but definitely keep your eyes on the screen. We don't want to distract you. You have a car capable of winning. You drive the 2 Chevy Camaro, Timac Motorsports. I was just speaking to one of your teammates, Joshua Diaz, and he's pumped up. He's got enthusiasm. What's your take? Do you come into the Daytona 300 with more of a calm, cool, and collected mindset, or are you amped up and anxious?
Oh, man, lap 1, green flag drops. I'm moving forward.
What lines are working best for you in the testing sessions?
Actually, I was in testing with one of my other teammates, Noko. Him and I are both hitting our rookie season here in the Motormaster Series. We were practicing a little bit, working together, doing some drafting together, and we're both feeling pretty confident. Got pretty quick hot rods tonight.
Nate, what do you got for him?
Personally, when I was doing some testing at Daytona, I found that the bottom line is really the way to go, but if you've got a fast enough car and enough drivers, you can make the top line work. Which lane do you think will prevail early on in the race tonight?
Well, so actually I think early on everybody is going to be fighting to get down to the bottom lane, and when they're doing that, it's going to make the bottom lane really congested and the damage on in NASCAR. I'm a little concerned of getting backed up into you or somebody plowing up my rear end if I back up. So actually riding around on the high side, maybe falling back through the first 2 stages and kind of just riding so I can be there at the end. To me is probably more important than be moving forward in stage 1.
Good question and great answer, both. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us, and good luck in qualifying. We think it's starting in a matter of seconds.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
And that was Kevin Tattersall driving the number 2 Chevy Camaro. It's a car that I drove full-time, actually, back in the very first Motormaster Series that we ever had. That was on NASCAR Heat 2. I got 1 win, 20 top 5s, and 30 top 10s in the 30 races that season. And the only reason why I couldn't get anything more was Fluffy and Slade. The 2 pro leaguers raced with us full time, and they took home 8 wins apiece, and there wasn't really much I could do.
That is true. Those guys, when they get in our lobbies, they just run away with things. But I don't know about NASCAR Heat 4.
No, huh?
I haven't raced with either of them on NASCAR Heat 4, so we'll have to see how they do if they decide to join up with us for a couple of races.
Yeah, only time
Mind
will
you,
tell.
they'll still probably be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't imagine they would have fallen off too much. I believe that would conclude the interviews. We do have one more. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how much time we have and if we're going to be able to squeeze this in.
Let's wait on the one more interview until after qualifying, and then we can get the poll winner in here.
I vote we do try to get an interview with the poll winner for sure, but I've also sent the invitation out to Cameron Norton because he is the final driver that was scheduled for an interview. We'll see if we can squeeze it in. These drivers might already be on track for qualifying, folks.
Yep. I guess he's able to come.
Perfect. We won't take up much of your time, Cameron, but thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
Cameron Norton is here. He's the driver of the number 20 Toyota for Keith Ayers Incorporated. You signed a deal with this team just earlier today, or else you were going to be driving a Chevy that was probably more or less going to be not quite as competitive, respectively. And now you've got a chance to go out there and turn some heads and park it in victory lane. And wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I struck a deal with Keith Ayers Incorporated today. Came so late. I was, very blessed and fortunate to receive this offer. Couldn't have done it without NASCAR, and we've had few mechanical issues with the engine, so we're going to start in the back and try to make our way up to the front tonight and try to park this thing in the victory lane.
I was trying to ask drivers questions about what their strategy would be and, what's going to work for them, but I don't want them to give out what they're going to do either. Is there anything you can tell us, though, do you think is going to work out there for you tonight that may be already common knowledge to them?
Just outsmart them, play it safe, do what you got to do out there, If you get caught up in the big one, try to make the most out of it. There's been races where people have won with damage, so get caught up in the big one, don't ever give up, and that's one thing I've learned. And this year it's going to be a crazy year for me as a rookie.
You've found victory lane before in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series. You've done really, really well here in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. Now the intensity is ramped up a little bit. There is a 22-inch tall trophy on the line and a $25 PlayStation Network gift card. What do you think it's going to be like out there in the Daytona 300 tonight?
I think it's just going to be crazy. Everybody's going to be on the edge and a little pushy. I'm just going to, stay calm, be patient, work my way up towards the front slowly but surely. But I know that you'll see some moves out of this number 20 car, and we're going to try to park this thing in the victory lane.
You got anything for him, Nate, before we wrap things up with interviews?
I don't think I do. He's got a good plan, but you did say that you were having some engine troubles and have to start at the back of the pack.
Yes, sir.
That may actually be a good thing. You never know what's going to happen in these first couple of laps.
Getting word, qualifying, starting right now. We're going to cut you loose, Cameron. Make sure you're paying attention to the screen, and good luck to you.
You too. Thank you.
All right, that was Cameron Norton, driver of the number 20 Toyota Supra. He sounds ready to go. In fact, every driver we spoke to sounded ready to go, Nate, just in their own kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Ayers not lacking any confidence. Joshua Diaz not lacking any enthusiasm or spirit. Dakota Brough not lacking any ice, man. He is all ice, man. And what I like about it is he's always just so calm and cool and collected. He knows what's at stake tonight. He knows this is the biggest race of the season, and he knows that this is the biggest season that the Motormaster Series is going to ever see, at least to date. And he knows that it's going to be nuts, and he's still just as calm as can be. I like it.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking as well, because if this is going to be the biggest season ever, Wouldn't it be only fitting if it had the tightest battle for the points ever?
Right. The thing is, though, I don't know if it can get any tighter than what it did last season. That season, last year, man, you ask almost any NASCAR driver and they'll tell you the 2019 season was the most competitive season they've ever been a part of. And we're raising the bar even more here for the 2020 season. And we're kicking it off early. We're bringing it to the fans when the calendar year has not changed yet. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, this'll be fun.
Yeah, this is going to be the mecca of all shows. This is the Daytona 300. It's divided into 3 stages, folks. 50% distance, 3 times the usual tire wear, with cautions off, stages on. Top 5 in the stages receiving points. The stage winner walking home with a playoff point.
Ty, I believe you may have forgotten one thing.
Ooh,
Aren't black flags being turned on as well?
Ooh, that is correct. Thank you for reminding me. See, this is why I got a co-pilot in the jet with me here today. This is perfect. Yeah,
black flags being
on.
turned on are going to be a major factor today, because getting down to pit road speed of 55 miles an hour from nearly 200 miles an hour coming off of turn 4, there's going to be some accidents coming on the pit road.
I agree, and it's going to be interesting because there's 30 cars entering this race, and it's going to be interesting to see how they all funnel down pit road under green flag, especially in the final stage when things are really getting interesting. Everyone's going to be pushing hard by then and trying to get every inch of speed, get their car woed up in time. It'll be interesting.
Yep. This will definitely be one for the ages for NASCAR.
And as you documented, the physics and the graphics difference is just worlds different. The outside line has more power and more grip than it did on Heat 3. It's not really all about the inside line anymore. It's going to make for an interesting Daytona.
Yeah, we're going to be able to have people running multiple grooves, which was not able to happen last year. Last year it was, if you were on the bottom, you were essentially able to stay there and hold your position because nobody could pass you on the outside unless you were left out there alone.
That's it. This time it's a whole different ball game. I think that drivers are going to be able to have some speed up there and definitely use the side draft down the straightaway. It's gonna be really slicey and dicey out there.
And if they're not willing to slice and dice, they're going to be dropping to the back. And I think we're going to have some mixed strategy here in the first couple of stages, with some people possibly sounding like they might create a second pack a little ways back so that they can avoid the big one if it occurs. And then the third stage, they'll be pushing to all heck, racing up at the front. But it's going to be definitely interesting to see the different strategies that play out.
It's a good point. I do think that there's going to be some drivers hanging out in a pack of their own towards the back. Kind of like how Michael Waltrip and Dale Jarrett used to do for the plate races in the early 2000s. They played that strategy a lot, and it worked for them, and you would definitely see them near the front at the end. The thing is, though, there's no guarantee. Once you get towards the end and you've got to bring your car to the front, you got to get to that pack at some point anyways. You got to battle them at some point anyways, and that's when it gets interesting.
Yep. That is definitely the case.
In the final stage, the urgency goes up a little bit, because if you lose the draft with the front pack and you just simply can't ever get back to them, that's your race right there. I think there's going to be a lot of drivers fighting to be in the front pack at that point.
But the interesting thing about NASCAR Heat 4, if you're able to stay tucked in with 3 drivers, you can run another pack back down. As long as the other pack is racing side by side with multiple lanes, 3 drivers running on their own can run that pack back down and get up there and mix things up again. So if you lose the draft, you're not necessarily out of it if you can get a couple of teammates to drop back with you. You still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was having a technical problem there. And I was also trying to figure out exactly how far along in qualifying they were. I know the qualifying has begun. I'm not sure how long the qualifying session lasts.
Qualifying will probably be about 4 or 5 laps.
Ah, okay.
So it should be about 5 minutes from when they started. And let me check in here and see if I can...
I would say it should be over about now. I'm going to check my invites just in case. Nope. I have nothing. Still awaiting the invitation for the third running of the Daytona 300 here for the NASCAR Motormaster Series presented by Brough Motorsports. Sorry, Nate, you were saying?
I'm sending a message out to race control to wait and hold before the race, so then we can talk with the pole sitter. See if the person's strategy may have changed if it's someone who we talked to already.
Who's your pick to win the pole?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's going to be either Dakota or Jade.
Ooh.
Those two can manipulate the draft like no other. Keith is really good when it comes to mile-and-a-half cookie cutter tracks for manipulating the draft. But when it comes to super speedways, it's either D-Nub or which is Dakota, as most NASCAR fans already know, and Jade, who can manipulate the draft really well, or it's you, Ty.
See, when people tell me things like that, I wish I was out there on the track competing. But it's just not to be today. The third running of the Daytona 300 will be without me, and that's completely all right. I have a blast being up here in the commentary booth, watching all of my friends and former competitors out there, former competition, race it out there. Oh my goodness, did you see that? Did you get the message?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, the pole winner, right after this. Oh, I love doing that. Keep waiting. Gonna see if we can get an interview with the pole winner quickly, and if not, then so be it. And joining us now.
Go figure.
Yeah, I know, I knew you'd say it. Joining us now quickly here is the pole winner for the third running of the Daytona 300. That would be the OG, baby. OG info in the house.
Go figure. Of course he'd get the pole.
You got it on the front row, on the inside, for the third running of the Daytona 300. How does it feel, and does this adjust to any sort of strategy you may have had before the race?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think it's going to be as clicky as it sounds like? Do you think that it's going to be all about teammates and all about groups? And Ooh. We can't hear you on the broadcast info. Damn. That was good stuff.
He was saying that if you have only 2 cars in a draft, like if you have a tandem draft going on and there's 3 or more cars trying to catch you, they're going to be a lot faster than you, so then you're going to have these alliances that form up.
I believe that we can hear you now. Sorry about that. So you've got it on the front row, starting in first for the Daytona 300. So I asked you if it changes your strategy at all and how it feels to win the pole for this race.
Feels good, and I've noticed that none of my friends are up in the top 5. It looks like. So my plan is kind of fall back, get my people up there, have a nice competitive battle, and see what goes on from there.
And Nate, did you have any questions for him? Keep in mind, he's won races in all 3 of our major series in the NASCAR Heat games here in NOSSCAR.
I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Josh.
Okay.
Last lap of the race, you're in second, one of your teammates is in front of you. What are you going to do?
It depends. If I know I do not have the momentum, I would just stay right behind my teammates. But if I do have the momentum and I could feel this speed compared to the person in front of me, I will try and make a move.
And remember one thing. If it's only 2 cars, this game, side drafting does work. You can pull them back.
Yes. No.
So that will also change what people do when it's just 2 cars. Used to be you had to try to get to the bottom, and the bottom was the only way you'd be able to make it around them in Heat 3. In Heat 4, you can go up to the high side, get right down on their quarter panel, and drag them back to you just like you can in real life.
And it could also cause wrecks too, because I've noticed that in the other races that I've been in. If you get too close to the corner panel, the air sucks the person, whoever you're trying to side draft, into you, and it could cause a wreck.
But if it's going for the win, like Josh said, it's checkers or wreckers, isn't it?
Yep.
Hey, don't be putting bad ideas in his head now. He's got a game plan. He's on the pole. Info, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. Congratulations on your Daytona 300 pole award, and good luck to you out there. Tell D-Nub to invite Trobe24 to the race, and tell him to invite us when he's ready.
Alright, thanks guys.
Alright, thank you.
Have a fun race.
Oh, this is going to be epic.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
I can't believe, well, I guess I can believe that Info won the poll. I guess we just didn't really put too much hype around him throughout the pre-race show or the Daytona Speed Week's festivities. And it's not really because he wasn't a threat, but it's more or less because he signed up late, and a lot of people kind of just weren't worried about Info, but I think they better start worrying pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. To be honest, I hadn't realized that he was racing tonight. Otherwise, I probably would have put a lot of hype around him. He is bad fast in these Xfinity cars. Mind you, he's bad fast in any car that he sets foot in. He nearly won the championship last year in the Cup Series, if not for Keith being such a god at Homestead.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be exciting. We're just waiting for the invitation for the Daytona 300. The drivers are ready. The qualifying order has been set. 30 drivers here for the Daytona 300. NASCAR Motormaster Series presented by Brough Motorsports. Can't wait to bring you the live action. If you just joined us, you missed interviews with the drivers. You basically missed the entire pre-race show because we're about to get set and bring you live coverage of the event. Should be any minute now. Yeah.
Loading yet?
Agreed. Oh. Apparently they are loading.
It is in loading?
That's what Jade just said, but you're right, the invite didn't come from D. Let's try it. You want to gamble with me? I'll do it if you do it. Yeah, they're all in there. Oh my God, did you see
it's
the
on
number?
lap 1. How many?
31 drivers, folks.
Whoa. Well, I think one of those might have been me. So 30 drivers.
No, it's not.
Oh.
I looked at the list. It's 31 drivers,
Oh,
33
wow.
if you include you and I.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be something.
Man,
I'm
for that
loading
we
into it
need
right now.
we need like an 8-man broadcast team to cover all this action.
Oh boy. Do we ever. Oh,
Well, I think if your info
the
starting
leader
on
in
the
the 0-1 is Info. Up on the high side.
poll. Yes, sir. Whoa. They're lagging on my screen.
Yeah, they were for a second on my screen, now they're good.
And they're lagging bad on mine. Like I might need to figure out something here. This is bad for me.
23 is coming to the bottom. That would be Noco Racing, I think. Yep, Noco Racing 48 is now the new leader of the
Yes, sir.
NASCAR of the Daytona 300. That outside line, just as Info said he was going to do, he's dropping back.
Well, he was saying he was going to do that because he didn't have any friends near the front. That might change later on, but you're right. For now, it's Noco leading the race with Joshua Diaz in the 7 in hot pursuit in second. There's about 5 or 6 of them down on the bottom line, and then there's a few of them trying to make the high group work. There's just not as many cars up there. It looks like Joshua Diaz. Yeah, Josh just got out of line just a little bit, and now he's hung out to dry on the outside.
Yep. I'm trying to find a couple of the... Oh, Joshua looks like he just got into the wall. And we've got a wreck. The 1 is spun around.
There he is. It's
The 20 has
Dakota.
damage.
So does Joshua Diaz in the 7 and Dakota Brough in the 1 with problems early in the going here in the Daytona 300. He drops to the back. He's got no draft help. He will shortly, though, once Trent Nielsen in the 78 and can't tell who that other car is. Once they catch him, which they will, they'll be still leading the way with Tony Camerata in second in the 22, Jay Burr in third in the 98 machine.
And that doesn't surprise me at all. They do seem to be getting a little racy up there in that lead pack, though.
Yeah,
No, not
they
the
do.
lead pack. It's actually the second pack that's racy. Or wait, is that the... No, yep, that's the third pack that was getting racy. My gosh. Josh fell back all the way into the third pack here. Looks like there is a bit of lag on the 11, so then I'm watching from the perspective of the 7 at the moment, so That's how I'm able to see this. It looked like he lagged back a little bit into the 51, which caused a bit of a stack up.
He's got a friend back there, though, and he's got a Timac Motorsports teammate in the 36. That's Jarrett Reese. It looks like there might be some connection issues with the 7. He's bouncing around a little bit, and cars are a little afraid to get near him. Back up front, still
we got
Noco
problems.
leading. Oh, do we?
No, they saved it. A couple of guys. The 5 is hard in the wall.
Yeah, Kenny Adair in the 5 car. He's 2018 NASCAR Truck Series champion. He's going to lose the draft with the front pack.
The second pack should be able to hook up with him, though.
Yeah, he's got a car behind him there. I believe it's the 61 of Jordan Roughton. If he can get to him, they'll be able to work together a little bit.
Yep, and then there is an 8-car pack behind, who was that one there? You said, Ty? Behind, Kenny?
Jordan Roughton. But yeah, looking at the pack behind them, there's about 6 cars here working together.
Looks like it's possibly gaining on the lead pack even. Yeah, but that second pack is kind of dicing it up at the same time.
I'll be honest, it's the lead pack that seems to have things figured out. They've been the most single file since the start of this thing, and they're actually coming up on a couple of cars to put them 1 lap down, including Kevin Tattersall in the 2, and that's definitely not a driver I thought we would be talking about going a lap down.
That's definitely true. Oh, looks like... Oh, no. They saved it.
They're still bouncing off each other.
In the second pack, they're bouncing off each other pretty good.
Oh, they're doing it now in the lead pack. Yes, sir. The tail of the lead pack.
Yeah, that's the lead pack.
They're creating their own second pack if they keep it up much longer.
Yeah, because those front 4 are trying to break away.
Now they're going around the outside of Kevin to put him a lap down, and maybe not. It looked like Jay Burr actually kind of misjudged the corner trying to go to the top side. He lifted instead, and somebody else wasn't quite ready for it. That was interesting. It looked like Randy
looks
O'Quinn
like
in the 74.
All kind of saved it, though. Yeah, I'm viewing from the perspective of the 74. It's giving me a really good perspective of what I can see up in the front of the main pack. Oh, it makes you really wish you were out there, though, Ty.
It does. It really does. And now they thought about 3 wide for a moment and then thought better of it. Jay Burr kind of putting a block now. He's trying to make the back of that car as wide as he can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was more contact.
Was that the 08 that went in the wall?
It was the 86 machine.
Well, the 86 was still there. I thought the 08 ended up in the wall from that contact. Or no, it was the 0 of Duking. It looks like.
Okay.
Or it was one of those cars that oh, it was the 01. It was OG info. Now that I see it, because.
This is allowing these top 3 to break away from the rest of the pack. Noco, Tony, and Jade. The top 3 surging ahead, putting a healthy gap actually between themselves and the others. And now
here go Tony and Jade.
The teammates from Fatal Motorsports looking to take over the top 2 spots from Noco. Noco driving for Timac Motorsports. And there is strength in numbers. Oh, he almost was. He might have been even and might not have moved over in time. It was hard to tell. It was close.
He's clear now, though.
He is.
Tony moved up and pulled him through.
They put a lap on Trent Nielsen in the 78. They go around him with no problems. The second pack coming up to him.
Oh, the second pack, though.
Yeah, it didn't look good. The 99 went up into the wall. There's the 99 machine.
You have to throw that in at least once a Daytona.
I guess so. Trent Nielsen went to pit road after going a lap down. And now back up at the front, it is Tony Camerata in the 22 leading, Jade Burr second, and that's Noko right behind him in third. The 86 catching both of them. The 86 is Anthony Trippi, striking a full-time deal late in the season, actually just about a week ago to drive this 86 Chevy Camaro.
And as they lap the 38 car, to be honest, I don't know who's in the 38 car.
You know what? Me either.
Oh, as they lapped D-Nub, Tony got off the bottom and Jade got underneath him. It looks like, 1 second here. If I can find it. Who is that in the... Oh, it looks like Anthony Trippi was able to catch back up to those lead three.
Now runs in third after that move they made on Tony, but
I
now
know.
Anthony got a shot, and he gets out of the groove because of it.
This lead pack is really shuffling themselves.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Oh, you can tell that. They're having some fun.
The 93 is Michael Birch, and he's now running in the fourth position. He came out of retirement, kind of the Brett Favre of our series, if you will. I guess I can't say too much. I've come out of retirement in some sort of way, shape, or capacity once before as well. But he was retired for a week, man, and now he's back.
Yep. Oh. Trippy's... No, they're going into the grass. Oh, they saved it. That was a gutsy move. Noko looks like he's having a little bit of trouble here behind Jade Burr.
He's pushing him pretty hard. He's laying it into the back bumper of the 98, and the 22 isn't laying down either. The Fatal Motorsports drivers are separated.
And I believe
right
that was the end of stage one.
Ah, it was. So
Yep.
Jade Burr takes the stage
wins
win.
stage one. With Noko Racing coming second. Tony Camerata third.
Michael Birch fourth.
And
Anthony Trippi.
Anthony Trippi fifth.
That's crazy.
Wow. Now we're going to have to really see who's the powerhouse and who can take it out to the lead at this restart.
Jade
Ty, you
Burr.
and I both know how good Tony is on restarts, and he's starting third behind Jade.
See, that's the. Is he gonna work with Jade, or is he gonna make a move and try to take stage two? That's the thing. And if he makes a move on Jade, Jade's gonna show no mercy in the final stage. So this is gonna be.
We have something very interesting that just took place.
Oh yes, we did.
We
The
have
9.
some people that pitted, and many drivers that stayed out.
And the 9 pulled off. I don't think that he made it to the pits in time, meaning he didn't hit the X button in time, because he pulled off. The green flag is out
Massive
for stage
wreck
2.
in the back.
The 36 pulled off as well. The top two that were at the front there have both moved to the side. Jarrett Reese is the 36. I don't know what that was about, but we're underway, and it's Jade Burr leading. But here comes Tony Camerata on the bottom in the 22, looking for the lead. Fatal Motorsports are side by side, and they're 3 wide
With
for
3
second,
wide
third,
behind
and
them.
fourth. And it's Randy O'Quinn in the 74 looking for third.
Oh,
about
there's
that?
a big one!
And there is.
The big one at Daytona!
The
And the
20's
whole
around.
field is in it.
The 20 is in at the 39. It was hard to name them. The 01 got a piece of it
Oh
for
my
sure,
God.
and they're still
Still
wrecking.
wrecking.
The 00.
Woo!
The 1 got through clean. The 61 got a piece. The 93.
The 01, he had almost made it through it, and then right at the start-finish line, he got into it.
The 7 got involved. He's got some front-end damage. There's a car still stopped on the track, and that's the 9 machine. That's Jimmy Best. And we're getting a report that he did not make it to pit road under that caution, and he is indeed out of fuel and sputtering on the back straightaway as we speak.
That would explain things then.
It would. And Jason
But Ty, if
Pitts
you
in
look back to the front of the
51
field,
got through.
we've got 2 tandems at the front of the field.
Now Dakota Brough.
Noko and is that the Noko and the 11 of Nick Donfrancesco are the second of the 2 tandems trying to gain on Tony Camerata and Jade Burr.
Dakota Brough is on pit road, the defending champion, as is Cameron Norton in the 20. Thomas Geyer in the 62 getting a push there from Keith Ayers. Now Keith looks slow. These drivers are all trying to catch back up to the front, and this is what the battle for the lead looks like after the big one here in Stage 2. Remember, there are no cautions here in the NASCAR Motormaster Series, presented by Brough Motorsports. And it's Tony Camerata leading, with Jade Burr, his teammate, pushing him in second. And
there is a big pack behind him.
Yes, there is. I was about to say they are being hunted by this pack of cars that you're looking at. They just went around Dakota Brough, but he is 1 lap down now after coming down pit road for service. Oh,
wow.
And there was another incident. Jordan Roughton in the 61 got into it with Thomas Geyer in the 62. That was coming at a turn 2. No car spun, but they definitely made hard contact with the wall and each other. Now Kevin Tattersall in the 2 trying to come up and pass Jordan, and he does. Wow. See, it's hard to catch all the action on this racetrack. The second pack is being led by Noko, and he is in third. He's got the 11 of Nick Donfrancesco right behind him.
And they are there. They have caught the leaders. They're going to go to the outside.
With a full head of
3
steam,
wide for the
3
lead.
wide.
Tony
3
Camerata
wide
got
in the
stuck
Daytona
in the second hole.
300. We're only in stage 2.
Nick Donfrancesco to the lead. No, that would be
It's
Noko.
Noko. Oh my goodness.
Donfrancesco to second. And Tony Camerata got shuffled back to 4th from the lead.
What just happened?
Whoa! Oh, Jade got underneath Donfrancesco.
And this is
But
stage
Noko's
2.
trying to pull him back by.
I can't stress that enough. I'm freaking out over here. They are 3 wide.
This is
going
only
towards
10 laps
turn
into
3.
stage 2.
They made
I
it
think
through.
Jade wants his lead back.
And a Fatal Motorsports
And you know he's got a
drivers.
teammate that'll go with him behind him.
Exactly, and they've been working together great since the start of the race. I still can't believe the 74 of Randy O'Quinn. He's been in the top 10 since the drop of the green flag in stage 1. He's having a career race, looking for a win. My voice is going. Right when I say that, he got out of line a little bit. He's not really in the draft. He might be able to... Oh, I don't know. Randy actually might have just lost the draft with the lead pack.
Nope. He was able to drop back in.
No, Randy's
I
the
think.
74 black and red Chevy Camaro.
Oh, yep.
Running in the 7th position.
I think he hit the wall.
Oh, no.
It looked like, because he slowed down a lot. I think he got loose off the bottom and...
Oh, Jade
that
made a
was
move
close.
for the lead. There was a bit of contact. The door got shut, but Jade's bumper was still just a tiniest littlest bit there. So there was a bit of contact. That was really close racing.
Well, Ty, you know just as well as I do that Jade has learned from me on how to stick his nose underneath people at these restrictor plate races.
And he does a good job at it, too. That was clean.
Yep.
Got back in line.
Oh, and he touches the apron. These drivers can't touch, they can touch the apron in the corners, but do not touch the apron on that tri-oval.
BJ Thomas looking to the top. He's going to lose the 4th position to Nick Donfrancesco.
And he's going to lose 5th.
Yeah, the 4 car goes with Nick Donfrancesco. Chris Ryan, having a career day as well in the NASCAR Motormaster Series. He's made a couple of starts. He hasn't fared the greatest, but he's shown promise. He's shown speed. And now he's back for more, and he's looking good in the top 5
Isn't
at Daytona.
Chris a full-time rookie this season?
He is. A lot of eyes are on him, too. They know that he can wheel it. He just hasn't had the luck that some of these other drivers have had.
Yep, that's certainly the case.
They're coming up on 2 cars to put them a lap down. They are going to catch them before the end of the stage. There's one of them. It's the 93.
Goes to the high side.
It's Michael Birch in the 93. That's a veteran class move, a class act from the former NASCAR Dirt Touring Series champion.
And he's going to drop behind the lead pack and try and keep their draft so he can hopefully stay in the lucky dog position. But I don't think he was able to do it.
He's got a lot of front end damage, it looked like, so it's I don't think that was a driver error. I think that's car right now.
Yep.
That's a car error.
I think he got caught up in the big one.
They're coming up on a couple more cars to put them a lap down. This is the 08 machine, and it's driven by Charlie Irwin. They just put him 1 lap down. The next one is the 00 of Stephen Corley, if I'm not mistaken. That looks like his blue and white 00 Ford Mustang.
I think this pack is trying to do their best to put as many people a lap down so they have less to worry about in the final stage.
Absolutely, and as a driver, when I raced in the Platinum Cup Series, that's exactly what my mindset was as well. If I was running in the lead, I would just try to run smooth and put as many of them down a lap as I could. But I would never force anything. Always trying to never mess up somebody's race.
I think this might be the final lap of the stage, the way that they're racing to the line.
Coming to the green and white checkers, is that what you're saying? It's hard to tell.
Nope, they're still racing.
We got more. Noco's like, damn. Noco holding the lead, and he's got Jade Burr right behind him. Remember, we talked about this a lot in the pre-race show. Jade is looking for his 3rd Daytona 300 win in a row. That's almost unheard of in NASCAR. It's such competitive racing, and there's so many talented drivers. It's just hard to do that. And then you've got Noco, a rookie this season, leading the most laps so far in the Daytona 300, really turning some heads and surprising people. But keep this in mind, he's run strong in the other online leagues he's been in. Now Nick Francesco makes a move to 2nd in the 11
That was
car.
the end of stage 2.
Ah, yes it was. I believe Jade might have got 2nd there.
I have no idea.
Me either.
That was too close to call at the line.
It was.
That was insane.
I do know, though, that Noco won the stage. Jade Burr got in the top 5. So did Nick Francesco.
So did Tony Camerata.
Yep, so did Tony. And then after that, I believe it was the 4 or the 99. See, we're going to have to take a look at the scoring after the race to determine the top 5. It is the top 5 in the stages that receive points. The stage winner gets a playoff point as well.
Yep. Just like in the real racing, except halved.
Well, final stage is coming up. After seeing what we've seen so far, which is pretty much everything, a little bit of everything, 3 wide, 2 wide, the second pack has run down the first pack. We've seen a little bit of everything. Anything is possible and anything can be done on this racetrack and in this game. So what's going to happen in the final stage? We're going to find out.
Noco gets a good start. Jade is able to slot in behind him. Right in front of his teammate.
Green flag for the final stage. Noco leads. You're right. They got single file very quickly. Now there's a whole bunch of them on the apron.
And there's a big one behind him.
Oh, it's starting.
There's a huge
forming.
one.
And the 2's around. Kevin Tattersall, Thomas Geyer, Trent Nielsen in the 78 got a piece of it. The 8 car of CD Derby Boy.
I think our pole sitter was able to get through that without too much incident. I'm watching him right now, and he appears to still have a car that's able to compete. Oh, there's another incident. Just as I said that.
There's still about 25 or 27 drivers that have a chance to win this thing. You have this huge, long snake of a pack that's about 16 cars long. Then you've got about another 11 to 15 more in a pack of their own trying to run these guys down. And this is after they were all separated a little bit by that big one. Two big ones so far in this one.
Only need one more, and it'll be like it'll be actually like the NASCAR Xfinity race was this season.
Yeah, it'll be like the Cup race in Talladega in 2000. Was it 15, 16 when Michael Waltrip almost won it? Oh! Sorry, Randy O'Quinn.
Who was that?
Yeah, Randy O'Quinn in the 74 went up into the wall, and I think it's because the 86 or the 5 swerved into him. I couldn't tell who it was there. It was a darker car, I think. They're still bouncing off each other.
Oh, another big wreck!
Kenny Adair was involved in the 5. He spun. Nicholas Don Francesco in the 11 was in it. The 51 machine was in it. Looked like, yeah, there was about 5 cars involved in that one, and now the second pack that I was talking about has run these guys down, and they've made the pass on, well, most of them are passing them right now, taking the outside line. 51 is driven by Jason Pitts. Just wanted to confirm that for you all at home.
Yep, the second pack is still catching up to the lead pack. I'm viewing from the car of Keith Ayers right now, the 18 car, and he is just barely staying with the lead pack and is actually now starting to lose the draft to the lead pack and will probably lead the second pack back up to them.
See, anyone who's been involved in an incident here in the final stage, or any stage of this race for that matter, still has a shot at this point unless they're a lap down. I feel like every car on the lead lap, they still have a drafting partner. There's nobody on the track that's ultimately by themselves. It's just anyone who's been involved in an incident has their work cut out for them, that's all. But it's doable still.
Mm-hmm. As long as they can stay in a draft, they should be able to get something done, maybe even through some pit strategy.
I'm not sure if Dakota Brough in the 1 is on the lead lap or not. We know he lost a lap.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Right, he's in this pack with these drivers, but we're not certain if he's actually battling for position and battling for the win. We'll have to try to get a report for you on that, but we know for a fact that Noco is the race leader in the 23. Jay Burr in the 98 is in second. His teammate Tony Camerata in third. Those two have spent most of this race nose to tail.
Those three have spent most of this race nose to tail.
Mm-hmm. So, assuming Dakota is on the lead lap, then we're looking at the top 7 on the racetrack, and then in 8th place is Joshua Colm Diaz in the 7 car, and he's being pushed by the 9th place driver, Keith Ayers in the 18. They're by themselves. And then behind them is a monster of a pack, and they're moving fast, and they're catching your race leader.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be very interesting come the end of the race, because that second pack is going to get to them.
It is. There's definitely enough time. And even if they have a couple of incidents on the way, they are going to get there. And they might have an incident right now while we're talking about it. Jordan Roughton got loose, and he got into Nicholas Don Francesco in the 11, and everybody got involved. Another big wreck here in Daytona.
They were able to gather it back up a little bit, it looked like.
Yeah, some of them did. I'll tell you who's had a really rough race.
But now I don't know
Kevin
if there's going to be enough for them to get back there.
2 drivers who've had a really rough race, Kevin Tattersall and Kenny Adair, the 2 and the 5. Not teammates, but they're working together like they're teammates, because they've got nobody else out there to work with right now. They're by themselves in no man's land. Kevin scored
that's
one
certainly.
lap down.
Well, this pack has got their work cut out for them if they want to try and catch the leaders.
Oh,
Especially if they keep racing with each other.
exactly. And I just watched Dakota Brough go up and bounce off the outside wall. He's up here battling with the front pack. Again, we're not certain if he is a lead lap car or not. And now that we're paying more attention here, the top 5 is getting away from the rest of the field. At least the others that are up here trying to hold on for dear life to their
They're
draft.
trying.
Yeah.
Oh! Dakota Brough, I think, hit the apron a little bit and turned forward, put the 19 up near the wall.
I'm impressed how Dakota is able to charge back to the pack when he appears to lose the draft. He's done that more than once in this race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that draft is powerful. Especially here in these Xfinity cars at Daytona. It's even more powerful with the Cup cars. But we'll have to wait until next spring to see that in the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series.
Absolutely. And now after being involved in the wreck, Nick Francesco, former NASCAR Motormaster Series race winner, he's in the 11 car. There you see him. He's found the draft with Kevin Tattersall and Kenny Adair. Just wanted to update the fans at home about him. Joshua Cole Diaz in the 7 has now decided to get behind Keith Ayers and see if pushing Keith works a little better than being in front of the 18. That's the update on him and Keith being the defending Platinum Cup champion. Deeper in the field, excuse me, there he is. Jason Pitts in the 51, driving for Brough Motorsports, is in a pack right now. Excuse me, I lost it for a moment there. He's in a pack right now with the 36 of Jarrett Reese from Timac Motorsports, and it appears there he's with the 62. I believe it's the 62.
Thomas Geyer?
Yes, I guess that would be Thomas Geyer then. I feel like I've seen 2 62 cars out there. I'll have to get back
That's
to that.
that's what I've been thinking too.
Oh, it's a number
I know
82.
I've seen 2 00s.
Sorry, folks at home, it's the 82 car.
Oh, it is the 82. Okay.
And that's who they're drafting with. 38, we had We'll have to get a real name for him after this broadcast. He is a newcomer looking to race full-time. Back up front. The top 6 driving away.
Oh yeah.
See, they're driving
They're
away
definitely
from
driving away.
They're driving away from the guys that were right with them a moment ago, but they're not driving away from that third pack. That third pack is still catching them. Now I'm starting to wonder if they have enough time to catch him or not.
With this race only being 60 laps, they may not have enough time. But remember, Ty.
Yes?
They still have to pit.
Right.
There's still some green flag pit stops going in.
What strategy are these drivers able to deploy here, though, in the final stage? Is there something that they can do? Is 2 tires a smart call?
I mean, to be honest, it's Daytona. You can probably do no tires, and you'll still be able to make it to the finish.
Even with the excessive grip and tire wear on Heat 4?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Daytona is one of the tracks where there isn't a ton of tire wear, even if you do have some issues going on. The only way that you get a lot of tire wear is if you get into the wall and have a tire rub.
All right, well, thanks for clearing that up. This is why you're the NASCAR analyst here in the broadcast booth. Thanks again, Nathaniel, for being here.
Oh, yeah. It's fun being here. It's fun watching these guys race. But the way that they're slicing and dicing, I'm not sure this front pack is done wrecking yet.
Alliances have been formed. Kenny Adair, Nick Francesco, the 01 machine. Excuse me, I always got to look through my notes. We have 31 drivers in the race tonight. It is so hard to keep track
The 01 of OG Info?
Yes, that's right. Sorry, OG Info. And the 9 machine, driven by Jimmy Best. Those 4 are working together. They're drafted very nicely. And then there's another 4-car pack. That is Peyton Larson in the 19. Anthony Trippi in the 86, Keith Ayers in the 18, and Joshua Cole and Diaz in the 7. They are the second pack now. It's no longer a tag team. They've got a quadruple unit going. They've got a 4-man band rocking out here for the Daytona 300, but they've got to start gaining ground now if they're going to do it at all.
Oh, we've got a couple going to pit road. The leader is on pit road.
Wow, you're right. And there's a whole bunch of takers from the second pack as well. Peyton Larson on pit road. Anthony Trippi on pit road.
I think some of them may have forgotten that black flags were on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Thomas Geyer in the 62 coming to pit road. He's got it woed up. Nick Don
This is going to be interesting.
I think a lot of drivers just got caught speeding.
Uh-huh.
I really think that a lot of drivers just got caught speeding on pit road. Excuse me. Oh, this is going to be an interesting race. Jarrett Reese exiting his pit stall now. There's a whole bunch
I
of
believe our
drivers leaving
leader
the
may have
pits.
gotten caught speeding.
Is Noko Racing being held?
I think he was being held. I'm trying to find him now.
There he is. He's on the back straightaway. I got eyes on him going into 3.
Oh, he may have made it down to speed.
Okay.
Because if he's already on the backstretch, he may have made it down to speed, which is a good thing.
Wow, what a race this has been so far. What a final stage. There was a big one in stage 2. It was a very incident-free stage 1. And then as the intensity builded towards the checkers and the trophy, well, that's when things got
Let's
real
see here.
out of hand.
Noko's up to speed. He's coming up to the guys who just came off of pit road, including our 2 Fatal Motorsports teammates of Jade Burr and Tony Camerata.
So they definitely didn't speed down pit road.
Nope.
BJ Thomas
And neither
is there
did our
with them.
leader. But
Wow.
he's not going to have the speed to get back to him.
How many laps to go?
There might be 10 or so laps to go.
Man. Well, he's got the draft. He's got the 08 of Charlie Irwin behind him, and I'm almost certain Charlie is 1 lap down. I could be wrong about that, but Noko's in between him and BJ Thomas. I know for sure he's battling with BJ Thomas in the 99 and Jade Burr
in the 98.
Yep, and Tony Camerata in the 22 is just in front of them, and he's drafting with, I believe, OG Info.
Which I believe Info is a lap down.
Ah, okay. Oh, it's unfortunate.
I believe he got caught up in one of those wrecks.
Info has won races in all 3 of NASCAR's Big 3 series, hosted on NASCAR Heat games. We started on Heat 2, and we have made our way all the way from Heat 2 to Heat 3 to Heat 4. 3rd annual Daytona 300 here for the NASCAR Motormaster Series, presented by Brough Motorsports.
He may not be a lap down because they're passing him. He's on the lead lap.
Well, if he's a lap down, they probably want to get around him as well. But I do see your point. The urgency.
Mm-hmm. The urgency is definitely there.
Keeping our eye on that.
Oh, BJ Thomas is trying to get around Jade Burr.
Now they're coming up on Dakota Brough.
Oh!
Whoa, BJ got loose. I don't know what happened to BJ.
I think he got hooked.
Did he?
I think he got hooked down there and he saved it.
Wow.
Oh! Dakota Brough just lagged out of the race.
Yes, he did. I saw it. The 1 car, the Baby Ruth throwback, is gone. And he was battling for the lead, if we're not mistaken. Man, that's a shame. And Info is racing like he's on the lead lap. So we're going to have to go with the fact that he's on the lead lap for now. We're going to have to review the scoring after all of this.
Jade Burr does not go with Tony.
What? 3
Is this
wide
the last
for the
lap?
lead. Man, we got to be getting down to crunch time.
I think this might be coming down to crunch time.
Oh, man,
and we've got a 5-car battle for the lead.
Jade Burr takes the lead, and we're in the final laps here at Daytona. Can he three-peat? Info, the pole sitter right behind him in second. Tony in third. BJ Thomas in fourth. And Noko in fifth. Oh, maybe not. The 78 of Trent Nielsen got into him.
Noko is still in their draft, though. Here comes Tony.
How many laps to go, D? I'm sorry you lagged out, buddy.
There's, I think there's like 12 when I lagged. Maybe 11.
There's still 11 laps to go?
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're racing like this is crazy. I'm sorry, buddy. I really am. I don't mean to be all cheerful, but I gotta maintain a professional broadcast.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Woo!
It was a good race. Just some people you can tell they're it's the beginning of the season. Some of them ain't quite used to the tightness.
Right. Oh, and Noko squeezes his way in for the 5th position. We got a serious battle for the lead and for the win here for the Daytona 300. Damn, D-Nub, you're causing a major. You're causing a major. What do you call it? Oh, never mind. Now he's not.
D-Nub, I've got a question for you.
No,
Was Info on the lead lap?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot.
He left.
He left, yeah. Crap, we could have used some information, but I was worried about the broadcast.
Yeah.
When he's in here with me, always I echo. That's all. He knows that, too.
Yeah, and I was hearing that as well.
Yeah. Nothing against him, nothing to be rude. We got a battle for the lead here.
Oh, boy. Tony just got shuffled out. This would make it 8 laps to go at the line.
Oh, man.
Oh! The 74 and the 01 connect. I think Info is just going to hold the draft of the lead pack, though. But the 74 got shuffled way back. But I don't think there's anybody who can catch the lead pack now.
No, I think you're right. I think that it's come down to these 5. Who's it going to be? If you're watching at home, folks, type in your favorite of the 5. You got Jade Burr, BJ Thomas, Noko racing in the 23 there. Tony Camerata in the 22, and OG Info in the 01. The top 5 battling for the win for the Daytona 300.
And they're battling like it's already the last lap.
Are they ever? What line's going to prevail? They're going to go with who they think is going to get them to probably right about 2nd or 3rd, and then they're going to go for what they think is going to work for them. And it's just a cycle of movements for each one of them trying to get into that spot, and it's just amazing to watch.
I don't think this 98 is going to come off the bottom.
The 99's got the yellow line gripped pretty good too. Maybe not.
Whoa, that was close. I think Jade just chopped off BJ a little bit.
Yeah, Jade's going to have to make that car as wide as possible if he's going to want to make it 3 Daytona 300 wins in a row. You know BJ Thomas wants it. He's got to win in the Motormaster Series, the Truck Series, and the Dirt Touring Series. BJ Thomas does. He knows how to get to victory.
And he just got shuffled out. Now the 2 fatal cars are back nose to tail, now with Noko behind them instead of in front of them.
Oh man, and OG now goes to the back of the pack.
I think he's trying to get a big run to get himself up there. If you get a big enough run, you can get by a couple of cars.
Now you got the Fatal Motorsports teammates hooked to each other. They're working together a little bit here, and then they're probably going to decide it amongst themselves.
If the cars behind them can't get it figured out, settled for the moment.
BJ Thomas back to 4th now. Oh, Noko got He got forced
He
down
got
below
forced.
the yellow line. Now he's trying to come back up, and they wouldn't let him, and there was a bit of contact.
I think
feel
Jade's
like-
going to try and go with Tony.
I think he was forced down there. That was really interesting.
Yep, he was definitely forced down there.
Okay. Oh, man, this
And
is...
Jade pulls Tony and BJ back around the NOCO and info.
See, that gap is not good news for Jade, because they're coming up with a head of steam.
But that's a teammate behind him.
Oh, that's true. See, that might be what's saving Jade Burr. Tony's going to have to make a choice. Does he help his team owner go 3 times in a row for the Daytona 300, or does he win it for himself? Does he make a move and
I
risk?
think he's going to the outside.
There he goes.
This might be the last lap. He just got shuffled out.
Oh, they're 3 wide. There's contact. Tony in the wall. Kenny Adair
Tony
came out
is
with
still
them.
there.
They're coming to the line. Jade Burr's got the lead. He crosses the stripe. NOCO is
I
up to
believe it might be
second.
2 to go.
Trying to get a better view.
View from the 98.
There we go.
Oh, this is intense. Oh, now there's a gap.
Now there's a gap.
That's
and-
not good for the 98.
No, it's not. He's going to go wherever he isn't, I'm sure. And here he comes with a head of steam. He didn't. Now he's looking a bit. Oh, they're swerving a lot. There was contact between the 22 and the 99. They're still bouncing off each other.
Oh, the 99 spins. I
Around
think he hit
goes-
the apron in the tri-oval.
And that's the race.
Jade Burr wins it for the 3rd year in a row with NOCO Racing coming up second.
Woohoo! Checkers are in the air. 3 in a row for Daytona. Jade Burr did it. Are you serious?
Wow.
That's history made, folks.
That is definitely history made.
Oh my God.
That was a heck of a race. We thought it was 1 to go with like 12 to go.
How did he do it?
I have no idea. Once Tony got shuffled back, I thought it was over for Jade. I thought they were going to gang up on him. Somehow NOCO must have struck a deal with him.
Oh my. Congratulations to Jade Burr.
Wow.
3 in a row.
That was one heck of a race.
3 in a row at Daytona. Came down to him and NOCO Racing, Tony Camerata, and OG Info, and BJ Thomas. Those 5 were battling it out for the win, and Dakota Brough was right there with them battling for the win until he lost connection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
I am out of breath. I am out of gas.
Let's see
I
who
need a
had the
pit stop.
fastest lap. Let's see if the fatal drivers were able to come out with the fastest lap, too. See if I can see it beforehand. Dash had the fastest lap in the 08 car
Oh, wow. Very good.
with a 45.2.
Kenny Adair, second quickest lap time. 2018 truck champ, getting it done. OG Info. After that, I caught that before some of these drivers started to leave. And then it was Napa fan, so Nick Don Francesco. 4th quickest lap time. Very good.
Wow. That was one heck of a race. If that's how this season is going to go, as hard as they were battling there at the end, I'm not sure I want to know how Bristol and Martinsville are going to be. Especially
What
with
a
the Xfinity
race.
Series going back to Martinsville.
We got to get a
For the
word with
first
your
time.
race winner. We're going to victory lane shortly, folks. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well,
folks, we have made our way down to Victory Lane, and we find Jade Burr, a familiar sight, standing in Victory Lane, your Daytona 300 champion. Like, you just made history. No other NASCAR driver has won 3 Daytona races in a row in any of the 15 NASCAR leagues hosted across the 7 games that we have here. And that's history. That's historical. That is such an impressive accomplishment. It's amazing. Congratulations. What does this mean to you? And how in the world did you pull it off?
It all started with the qualifying effort. You know, we unloaded fast, just like normal. We started out there in the outside pole, and it's the only way to pull off this track is to, like I said before the race, to have people you can trust. I had Tony Camerata behind me. I had Bryce Thomas behind me. I had Larson at one point. I had, Dash. It's just, you got to have people you can work with, and you just got to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
One advantage that goes for you as well, you've been racing with the same group of guys for quite some time. You know how they work, you know how they drive, you know the way they think, the way that they're wired, and that really does go a long way when you're racing out there and competing for top 5s and wins with these guys every week. And you had a teammate in Tony Camerata with you for most of the race. Talk about how it felt to battle for the win with your own teammate and to work really well with him as well throughout stage 1 and 2.
Tony Camerata is honestly one of my best friends. He every week in and week out, him and I push each other to the absolute limit. And this race just goes to show you the fact that the group that we were talking to within ourselves, it was quiet and we listened. Everybody listened and they followed my strategy coming on pit road. And we all had to trust each other. And Tony's one of those guys that him and I made a verbal agreement to each other that if him and I were running 1-2 in the last lap, everything at the kitchen sink at each other. So
I like it.
So you're almost glad that he got shuffled out.
I am just gonna stay quiet on that one.
How did it feel to battle with the new guy, the rookie, Noko, in the 23? He led the most laps and he came second and he was giving you a real run for your money.
He's fast, and I like him. I definitely look forward to seeing how he takes his experience and puts it onto the other races throughout the year. He seems like a real fast guy. He's a lot of fun racing him, but he got the short end of the stick because he had me and my buddies versus him. We didn't know how he raced quite yet, so we were kind of like, we're not gonna let him run amongst us yet.
Fair enough, the initiation factor.
Yeah.
What does this do for Fatal Motorsports moving forward throughout this 36 race season? You've already got so much publicity, so much popularity, and so much attention, and so much momentum from last season as well. Is there any possible way that this actually just builds that even more? Is there a maximum?
I think, honestly, the sky's the limit at that. It builds so much for this young team. This is only our second Motormaster season in operation. And last year we had myself who made the whole way to the round of 8, and with 4 wins on the season. Then we had Anthony Trippi make it to the Final 4 last year with 3 wins on the season. But this year, bringing in some new talent, some new faces, and it builds it even more. Especially having 2 championships in our first year of operation last year, with Keith Ayers in the Platinum Cup, then Michael Birch in the Dirt. But there's a lot of attention, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. I mean, we are the hottest team in NASCAR.
There you heard it from the man himself. Jade Burr, a 3-time winner of the Daytona 300 event in the NASCAR Motormaster Series. Man, that sounds crazy. I never thought I would hear that. Nate, what do you got for him?
It's just insane. As crazy as Daytona is, I never thought you'd be able to pull it off, But Ty, I did say at the beginning to look out for him.
Yeah, you were his pick, Jade.
I did hear that in the stream. I was paying attention. I was like, all right.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
So
once
apparently
again,
I'm now a prophet for NASCAR?
once again, just want to say congratulations, Jade Burr. You are the Daytona 300 winner for a third time in a row.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Jade, and continue doing well this season to all the drivers who were able to compete in the Daytona 300.
What a way to start the season. I don't think it could have been any better than that. 31 NASCAR Motormaster Series drivers came to Daytona to make a statement, and in the end it was Jade Burr emerging victorious for the third time in his career for the Daytona 300. That is an accomplishment that we might not ever see again in NASCAR history. From all of us here at NASCAR, including myself and Nathaniel Schultz, we would like to thank you for joining us for this broadcast, and we will see you tomorrow night for the Tailgate 250 right here at Daytona on NASCAR Heat 4. The NASCAR Brighton Truck Series have some work to do. We'll see you then.